All right, well, welcome to my new vlog channel, something I wanted to start for a while. I'll be uploading twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays here at 5 p.m. Eastern. A variety of topics, news topics, life topics, business topics, the business of YouTube, perhaps some, out and about events, although that's probably going to change for the next 6 to 8 months. I don't know exactly yet. But this is a spot where we can just talk and we can do deeper dives. And I hope that you're interested in like a closer look into what the YouTube life is like, what my daily routine is like, perhaps some deeper dives, some longer form conversations. This is a brand new channel, twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern. You'll get a new video here. I hope that you'll subscribe and maybe you'll enjoy this more like casual look into behind the scenes. You may notice I'm in a different spot. This is one of the few places in the house that I'm comfortable right now because last week, I hurt myself, ended up having to go to the ER on Thursday or Friday. Friday I was at the ER, and there's some interesting conversations to be had. I thought I would share that story with you and kind of let you guys know where I'm at. So some time ago, I hurt myself moving either furniture or I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it was I was moving my dog's agility course. They have a big outdoor agility course that weighs, some of the stuff weighs 500-600 pounds. I was moving it. And we were moving it into my outbuilding, and the floor was wet because the dogs were in the pool, and I slipped while carrying this really heavy thing with my father-in-law, and I think that is about what put things over the edge. And by the next day, I couldn't walk anymore. I couldn't sleep. My knee had swollen to the size of a cantaloupe. And I've never had any injuries really before in my life. I've had a broken arm when I was like in 5th grade. So when I originally heard it, I just kind of tried to gut it out. For the following week, it would feel a little bit better, then it would feel a little bit worse. And by Thursday, I knew that there was clearly something wrong. And there's like this level of denial that you get when you're like an old guy where you want to just gut things out. Toxic masculinity, I guess. And, I was still like power washing the floors on my knee. I bought like a Amazon knee brace, figured that'd be okay. I finally go to the doctor, make a doctor's appointment. My wife is basically like, yo, enough. You got to go to the doctor. I just kept hoping it would get better. I bet a lot of you have probably been in that scenario too. And it just never got better. And so I went to my doctor. And I was like, it's probably like tendonitis or something like that. And he's like, oh no, dude, definitely not. You have to go to the hospital. The joint was hot, apparently, like to the touch, and very swollen. As a certified fat guy, although I'm working on that. It's a losing battle, but I am working on that. I've never had any injuries. No real, like maybe a back thing here or there. No chronic fat guy injuries. This was definitely the result of moving that furniture, slipping on the floor. I thought maybe I just hyperextended it. Turns out that's not the case. So they sent me to get an x-ray. Had to park like a mile away and walk in, which this is a minor critique on the U.S. healthcare system, even though I have great health insurance that I have to pay for myself, almost $2,000 a month. I have to go drive there on this knee that my doctor just told me, hey, this is an emergency, you need to go. Drive there, get the x-ray. Thankfully, that was pretty quick in and out. And then they're like, well, you need to go to get an MRI. And you have to drive downtown Milwaukee to do it. That's like a 45-minute drive. And I've been on that campus before. When my dad was there, it's huge. I was like, man, there's no way. How am I going to even get in there? And so thankfully, my wife came with me. And we got a wheelchair because it was, I don't know, probably half a mile of walking just like inside the hospital campus. I parked in the wrong parking structure. I get an MRI, which wasn't that bad of an experience. Yes, I fit in the MRI tube. Many of you know I'm 6'5", I'm a big guy. But I fit in there fine, and thankfully they they let me listen to whatever music I wanted, which was pretty cool. And so I actually had them put on Modest Mouse's new record, listen to that. I was in the MRI machine for, I don't know, 20 or 30 minutes. It feels, if you've ever had an MRI, man, it feels like time is just passing at like half speed, quarter speed. And but some of the frustrations is like I'm in excruciating pain. And then they lock your leg in this thing, and they tell me on Friday at the end of the day, well, we'll let you know in like 4 or 5 days. I'm like, cool. My doctor thought that this was like an emergency, so he did a stat MRI order. He's worried about some infection. Is that really, because the last time I had an x-ray, and I don't know if apparently this is the norm now. Last time I got an x-ray, they do the x-ray, you sat in the waiting room for half an hour, then you went back in and the doctor read it. And you figured out you had a broken bone, or you didn't have a broken bone, or a sprain, or whatever the case was. Bone, fracture, whatever at the bone skeletal level. Nope. They never told me what was on my x-ray. They just said, go to the hospital. They don't tell me what's on my MRI. And so this is Friday going into Saturday. And I mean, the pain is very, very bad. There's not a lot of positions I can find that are really comfortable to sleep. And they did give me some pills to mask the pain, but I'm really reticent about taking those because I have a addictive personality. You don't get this chunky if you don't have some addictive personality traits. And so I'm real careful about taking them. I will say last night I enjoyed seeing flavors and tasting colors while I watched a couple of movies. And so what am I looking at? Well, it's either both the ACL and MCL are torn. That would be probably a worst case scenario. Pretty common. I bet a lot of you have had knee injuries before. Maybe my pain threshold just isn't as high as yours, but it is extremely painful. And just straightening the leg out, like, brings tears in my eyes. It hurts so bad. And icing it does very little. It does keep the swelling down a little bit. But this journey has been really educational. First of all, even with really good insurance, it's going to cost me many thousands of dollars. I may be forced to be a fat guy on one of those little hover round carts, which will be a funny sight to see, because I don't want to sacrifice summer. I live in Wisconsin, and basically everything, if I had a knee injury in December, it'd be fine. I get to skip Christmas, be healed up by spring, everything is good. Well, now I have a major knee injury, which I guess if you're in athletics or whatever, that's common for people. But, I'm older now, I'm out of shape. My recovery period could be 6 months to a year is what they're telling me, depending on the level of the tear. Now, best case scenario would be it's only torn a little bit and I can rehab it, which I'm praying for. I don't like to waste prayers on selfish things like that. So I haven't even actually technically prayed for it, but that's what I'm hoping for. And even that would be a couple of months of rehab, which would be fine because I'm really blessed that my job is sitting on my rear end and reading other people's news articles and having a take on it. But this whole thing has taught me a lot. First, about the healthcare system. No, I'm not going full communist. I mean, I think the level of care I got was really good. I just think it's ridiculous that they make somebody who can't walk go to 3 different buildings, all 30 miles apart from each other in the same day. Oh, and then they called me halfway there and like, well, we need to get you fitted for crutches. Can you stop it right now? So that's actually the 4th spot I had to stop, a totally different building. Fortunately, it was on the way to the ER, and learned how to use crutches. I've never been on crutches before in my life, I don't think. and kind of tricky on stairs. I generally just don't use them on stairs, which is probably stupid, but my stupid stubbornness is what led to all of this. I love to show you images of my exploded knee, all this kind of stuff, but I'm going to skip that. It's gross. It doesn't look good. If I had MRI images to show you, that I would probably show you. Maybe I'll post them to X or something like that. But what this has taught me, first of all, it's given me a renewed vigor to like lose some weight. Obviously, the way this injury happened probably would have happened to somebody who wasn't 100 pounds overweight, but it's going to make the recovery far more difficult. You know, it's going to make the physical therapy far more difficult. It's going to make, you know, just getting around far more difficult. It made finding a little hover around vehicle really difficult. First of all, I'm 6'5", so it's hard to find any of these little vehicles. Perhaps when I get it, they're delivering it later this week. In the next vlog, I'll vlog from my little old man cart while I'm driving around or something like that. But I can't sacrifice the entire summer. But it did get me thinking more about, like, I don't know, you let me know if you ever had anything kind of like this. I think it's pretty common if somebody has like a cardiac issue or something like that, where like, oh my God, I need to get everything in order. I need to get healthy, this, that, and the other thing. Turns out, other than being overweight, since I went through all these battery of tests, I'm fine. I need to lose weight. Blood pressure's good. Cholesterol's good. All that stuff's good. But I do need to get a physical, which I'm not looking forward to. I don't know if they still do the finger thing or not, but I don't know. But they did tell me that when I was there, because I don't go to the doctor because I've never really needed to. You know, even when I had the coof, well, what am I going to do? They're going to say, go home and rest, you know? That's kind of how I was raised. I mean, when I did hurt my leg when I was like in 8th grade, I think my parents had me soak it in the tub. Yeah, soak it in the tub, even though it was structurally very, very damaged. I was in a leg brace for like 8 weeks. Then they took me to the clinic, and the clinic's like, why are you here? You take them to the ER. So I guess there was that other injury. So I've had 2, but I know when I was in 8th grade, I was jumping down. I was screwing around with my friends, and we were jumping staircases, and I think there was like a 6 or an 8 staircase. I jumped to try to get to the bus, blew up my leg. Might have been the same. No, it was my right leg back then. Bounce back was a lot easier when you're 14 years old, though. But I gotta say, like, I have never felt any pain like this. And I'm sure a lot of people are already typing like, I've had 7 knee constructions. I never hurt. Stop being a baby. Okay. Maybe my pain threshold just isn't like what yours is. And you're a badass and I'm not. Cool. But what I can say is it's extremely depressing too. Like that aspect of it, I'm like, okay, let's go. Give me my MRI. Now they're like, well, it's going to be 4 or 5 days before we tell you what the results are. So now I'm just sitting here. I don't want to do anything and injure it worse. All the stuff I'm missing out on already. Fireworks. I feel terrible. We had a lot of plans with my wife over the 4th. Just, it wouldn't be responsible to go. Now, if I had gone and they're like, well, it's a full ACL tear, you're not going to tear it anymore, I'd just take some of those magical little round pills, go see this, see the colors. But if it's only a partial tear, I don't want to risk making it a full tear and end up having surgery. But it is really a bummer at this age now to be like, man, I'm going to lose the whole summer, minimum. Not going to be able to get around. I bought a brand new power washer with a floor tile attachment. Really excited. I was really excited to use that. Clean the tile and sidewalk outside. Can't do it. Couldn't even take my own garbage cans down. And something like that is like really emasculating. Like calling somebody and be like, hey man, can you come take my garbage cans down? And would it be cool if you did it for the next, I don't know, at least 8 weeks? And, there was some issue outside, electrical issue that normally I could fix. Instead, I had to like walk my wife through doing it. Felt terrible. I just, it's not a good feeling to be, ambulatory or whatever the word is, like to be able to move around fine for 43 years. And now staring down the barrel of what is most likely, based on my doctor's reaction, needing some sort of surgery and being out for many months and then having rehab after that. Again, I know this isn't like a woe is me thing, but if I'm going to start a vlog, then why wouldn't I start with what is going on here, being in the ER and all this stuff. It's an obvious topic that we're talking about. I'll talk about other things on this channel as I get healed up, but it's this weird like feeling. I'm sure it's not just a man thing. I'm sure women feel the same way, where you're like, dang, I mean, getting up to just like, I don't know, brush my teeth or to, use the bathroom, man, I'm being real careful about what I eat because, not to get too specific, but let's just say number twos are not comfortable for me. Just getting in there is hard enough. And then getting down and all that other back up again, I'm having this like fear that I'm gonna have to call my wife in there and be like, you gotta lift me off the toilet. But it's definitely an eye opener for me. And so I'm trying to cope a little bit by saying like, okay, well, you need to lose some weight because that's obviously going to help your rehab. But it's also like, well, dang, I can't work out. I can't, if it was my arm or something like that, like at least I could, be out walking. But I'm going to do what I can while I rehab here. Even buy my little scooter. I'm like, man, I could have got this other scooter if I wasn't such a big guy, but now I have to buy this super ultra mega commercial grade, scooter so that, I don't blow that thing up too. But yeah, the whole experience has been really not just eye opening, but kind of depressing, to be honest. Like, dang, man, it's the 4th of July. Summer's really just kicking off. I'm going to miss all of July, all of August, almost certainly. September, maybe I'll be up and moving around quicker. That's why I'm hoping that they get these stupid MRI results back so that I can, like, as soon as I'm sure I'm going to need surgery. So it's like, I want to get that scheduled. Like I was asking, like, can we just get it scheduled? Can I get something on the books just in case? Of course they won't do that. But it's been wild. And I don't know if you've ever had any kind of knee, blew up your knee. I'm sure a lot of the people watching this will have. Definitely open to your suggestions, especially like on how to get sleep, finding a comfortable position to sleep. Like I'm in a recliner right now. This is about as comfortable as it gets. In desperation, I've thought about just sleeping down here because my leg is like not in searing pain when I'm in these chairs. Definitely feeling very blessed that my job does not require a lot of movement. I just got to make sure I get down 2 flights of stairs and up 2 flights of stairs every day. Then that's it. But it's definitely been an eye-opening thing. And being just in the hospital and not being able to like move yourself around, not be able to like get to the bathroom on your own, not a great feeling. But I just want to attack it. I want to know what I'm dealing with, and not knowing is the hardest part. If I just knew, okay, it's a ACL tear, MCL tear, both tear, whatever, I don't care. I just want to know what it is so that I can attack it as quick as possible and not lose the entire summer. So that's why I haven't really been around. That's why probably content will remain roughly the same, to be honest with you. I don't see myself, I just have to get down to my desk. If I have to move my bedroom down here for a few months, I'll do that because it's, I fortunately am blessed that I can still do my job. For lots of people that go through this, they can't. They don't get paid. And that's what's kind of keeping me grounded too, is that like, I'm lucky I can still work. What if I couldn't work for 2 months, 3 months? What does that do to your income? A lot of people, that's why this isn't exactly a pity party. I'm just informing everybody, hey, this is what happened. I don't even know for sure that that's what it was, moving the equipment, but I'm pretty sure that's what at least was the final straw. Literally the straw that broke the knees, the tendons back. But, this channel is going to be a spot for me just to talk to people about whatever's going on in the world. Maybe we'll talk politics, some videos, we'll talk business in other videos, we'll talk, YouTube specific in videos, we'll do some behind the scenes stuff, but I need a place to just talk to you all like this in a casual format, different locations, although those locations will be limited over the next couple of months. But I feel like now that I've been doing YouTube so long that I feel like this hunger to know my viewers more and to let them know more about me, even though oftentimes oversharing on the internet turns into, ammunition for people to ridicule you. That stuff's never really bothered me. It's you have to have thick skin to do this job, and so it doesn't really matter to me if I overshare on this channel, because the people that use that information like against you are generally garbage humans anyway, so it doesn't matter. But it's going to be an interesting journey. I'll probably let you guys know in another vlog. The vlogs probably won't all be one topic. I'll try to mix them up, vary them up a little bit. But, for the next one I do, hopefully I'll have an update on the knee, but then I'll talk about something else more interesting probably to people than, big fat guy go boom and cries about injury. But that's where I'm at. I'm hoping that this new channel gets me a better chance. If you made it this far in the video, let me know. But I'm hoping this new channel gives me a better avenue to know you all better and to, hear your stories in the comments too. Take your feedback. Yes, I know, lose weight. Okay. But that's not what caused this injury, but it's definitely going to make rehab more difficult. And I'm not looking forward to it. So I definitely will take your positive vibes if you have any, and your topic suggestions. So if you made it this far, stuff you want to hear about in a longer form, casual format, you want to know how to get started on YouTube, how to, I ran a marketing agency for a lot of years. I sold cars for a lot of years. I could tell stories about selling cars. There's a lot of stuff that just doesn't fit on my other channels that I think twice a week is enough. You don't need to hear from me that much. But twice a week will be, I think, therapeutic for me, especially during this recovery process where I'm going to have a lot of pent up rage that, hopefully the next videos won't be so muted and so depressing. But I appreciate y'all. I see you all, your well wishes online, and hopefully you enjoy the vlogs. 6 months from now, we'll have so many up. And I'm looking forward to having a wide variety of topics. And make sure you subscribe. So follow the channel, and we'll see you in the next one.